What's up, everybody? This is going to be our official intro to bear video, and hopefully this will be start us on last phase of this leveling series to really focus on transitioning to carp fishing. That's my desire, which means that to end this series, we'll be hopefully doing a series of videos fishing here at Bear and or Old Berg, really trying to target the carp. So let's get over to where we're going to fish first. We're going to try 4450, and let's talk about gear, because I want to spend just a moment talking about what, in my estimation, is the minimum amount of gear that you want to come to this map with, or that you want to even engage with aggressive carp fishing at all. And I say minimum, and I do mean minimum as in there's part of me that thinks even going this quickly is a mistake, but we are going to do it. So Palmer FD 150 is going to be our weakest rod. So let me go ahead and disassemble these other two. And what we want to do is we want to have our two Fortuna feeders. This is the one with our carp boilies. This is the one with potatoes. And this is going to be our third rod. So I'm not going to even get out our third rod at first. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and just review these. So we're going to be doing two things here. First of all, we are going to fish with the classic hair rig. We've got our quiver tip on 28 grams. We're using 16 kilo line on a 10 kilo saber. Now, that is overloading pretty aggressively. In my opinion, pretty aggressively for the saber, but we are still underneath the load capacity for the Fortuna feeder, so our line should break before our rod. Our reel is a fairly early quality reel, so it should be able to handle it. We do have a camo under the clay lead core. We have an inline sinker, which eventually I'll probably get a regular one. It's an inline mount. I really want to get a regular sinker for this, but this will be fine for now. We have 15.8 mono leader, because with carp fishing, especially at a place like Bear, it really should not matter that we have fluorocarbon on. So the mono leaders are cheaper, they're usually easier to come by, and that's what we're going to use. As you get into higher level gear, you can even go to the braided camo line that's made specifically, the leaders specifically made for carp fishing. Works here at Bear, definitely works well at Amber. And then we're going to do a double sinking boilie mount on this classic hair rig with Cocos and Cream, Kraft's Honey and Pear Soluble 20, and Cocoa Dip. Okay, so that's what we're going to try on this one. Let's go ahead and get this cast out. We're going to do a start off with a 21 clip, and we are really going to just cast right over these reeds here. I don't know that it quite went the full distance, but it's close enough. It's been a while since I've carp fished without my carp rods on my main account. We got to cast a little harder than that. Okay, so we've got that one in now. Apparently I still have bells on there. I'll switch that to a blinker eventually, but it's probably nice on that one. We're not going to get as many bites on that one probably, but so over here we have the inline rig. If I had loop rig opened, I would probably use that, but for now what we have is inline rig. Again, Saber 60, same line, same leader, same hook size, by the way, large 1 carp hooks on both of these rigs, and then we're using potatoes on this one. Let me get this thrown out. Again, we'll do 21. We're going to throw it about the same place. And then, that did go full distance. And then what we'll do is, let's look at the ground bait we're using. Because we can't use ground peas yet, we made a fake carp ground bait. It must not be on one of our rigs because we should have 48 pieces instead of 49. But it's made with feed, corn, maggots, peas with vanilla attractant. So we got as close to regular carp mix as we could and then added the peas into an additive. So that is what we are trying there. And now we just hope we get some bites. One thing we can do to try to increase the bite rate, and you know, we're testing out this carp mix, so I don't know for sure that this is going to work, but let's just see if we kind of throw these ground bait. By the way, if you look at the ground bait before we throw this out here, if you look at it, it'll tell you how long it lasts for. So this duration is 18 hours. I want to say that the duration can change a bit according to what ingredients you have, but anyway, 18 hours is going to give us a nice long amount of time. So let's see when we max throw this where it goes. You know, that doesn't look too far off from where we've got them in. So I'm going to put 2 out there, and that should be enough for 18 hours. We're just trying to stir up some interest in the carp in that spot. Now, the other thing we can do is figure out what do we want to fish for on this. And we'll probably just end up trying some different things. What's going to catch roach here pretty well, but not catch carp? We could try things like, first of all, just worms or red worms. It's worth trying. Bark beetle larvae, maggots, pearl barley. I think pearl barley is always an interesting... Oh, we're getting our first carp bite here, guys. All right, let's do a clip 20, and let's just see what's out here in this lily area. Okay, we could probably go back to like clip 19 for that spot. All right, guys. Well, we're about to get into carp fishing with our first carp, it looks like. Now, in this spot, oh, gosh. So, the downside I would say about this first spot is it is heavy grass carp. So what we're hoping is that we might get lucky and hit a black carp every once in a while. It's much more fun, in my estimation, to farm common carp than it is black carp. But of the active spots on Bear right now, this may be the best. And so this is where we're going to start, even though we will catch, I'm guessing we'll catch mostly grass carp here, but we'll see. And we're a little bit at the fish's mercy. We could certainly hook into a grass carp that, you know, could give us a lot of trouble. I think this one will eventually come in if it doesn't pop off. But this feels like a pretty decent fish, although it's been a while since I fished for carp on something as weak as a Sabre 60. So this will give us an idea of what we're in for. And by the way, if you're doing this, and if you have similar setups, and if you only have 2 of them, your best bet is to put potatoes on both. The only reason why I'm using boilies is because I want to try to show how to use boilies and kind of how to pair them together and what to target. And all I did with these boilies is I looked on the weeklies for black carp to see what some of the boilies were that they were biting at bear. And that's why I went with the boilies that I went with. But let's see if that's a grass. I'm almost certain it will be. Yeah, that's a grass carp. 5.5 kilo grass carp. See, when we catch a 20 kilo one, it's going to be dicey, guys. Dicey. You know, I really should have checked to make sure. Oh, you know what I'm forgetting? We do have the right. What I'm forgetting is that we don't have ground bait on this rod because this has dip. It's a boilie rod. Okay. The only thing that doesn't work as well with making these videos, in my opinion, is that there's a lot more patience required in carp fishing. And I'm not always the most talkative person when there's not fishing going on. So I've just got to kind of watch that. 57, 138 amber, 40 fish in 42 minutes. What? Let's see. Clip 20, garlic and mussel, banana, pop up. That sounds like the baits that I was using in that spot right before, not that spot, a different spot, but right before I went out of town. All right, let's see what's on this one first. And then we'll rescue our carp rod who's just like getting pulled out like crazy. All right, so pearl barley caught, ooh, a leather carp? Okay, that's weird. Now, that's interesting though. It does make me wonder if we should consider putting the boilies straight ahead. Probably not for now, but it is worth thinking about if leather carp are out there. South. And you see how the fish is pulling away from me. Not just pulling out, but pulling to the side. Those are times that we don't want to reel against it. We don't want to increase our chances of pulling that hook out of the mouth of the carp. It'll happen randomly sometimes anyway, but we'll decrease our chances of it happening if we're a little bit careful as we fight the fish. We'll see if this guy's a little bit bigger. Yeah, 6.4. All right, we are carp fishing. Okay, so the pearl barley caught leather. That's not really what we're wanting to catch out there. We can try the pearl barley one. Well, it's nighttime. This would be a good time to try like worms or maggots. Let's try worms. Let's just try basic worms, and we're gonna go to a 19 clip. Yeah. Just see if anything interesting pops on there. At Bear, there are rough. We've got black carp bleak. I don't know if I've ever caught a bleak at Bear, but bream is here. Although I can't remember the last time I saw a bream spot at Bear advertised. I mean, obviously it happens, but it happens when people are going for carp and tench. It looks like burbot are here. Chinese sleepers. So we could throw night crawlers on. That might not be a bad like test to see what we get on night crawlers. Chub is here. A lot of cheese. We'll catch the chub. But here's some of the real appealing fish. We've got the black carp. We've got the common barbel coming in on a variety of things. Common carp. And this is one thing. One thing that, you know, if we can find a good common carp spot here at Bear, it's pretty cool. Common roach, crucian carp, frog, gibble carp. They do have golden tench here, which is on a range of things. Grass carp, which is what we're going to catch a lot of in this spot. Both leather and mirror carp. They do have eyed. Perch pike, for anybody that wants to do a little spinning on the side here. River mussels. And then there's the rough. Again, night crawlers. None of those are too recent. That one's actually this month, though. Biggest rough ever caught here. Tench and white bream. So we'll see. But yeah, we could throw night crawlers in. Oh, I don't have a map here yet. Let's go grab a map. We can see how much those grass carp are worth just for interest. I mean, I think if you are carp fishing, yes, you can make some silver. You definitely make good XP over time. But at any given time, there could be better silver farms, bream and other fish, you know, if the carp aren't super active. But 12 silver for this one, 10 for this one. So, I mean, it adds up. And if you start catching some really nice ones, it'll definitely add up. Here's our little grocery store here at Bear and our administration building. You'll notice there is not a cafe or workshop or tackle shop. There's a lot of things missing from Bear. Bear is sort of meant to just be this, like, you know, lake out in the middle of nowhere kind of thing. What was that spot of moon said on Amber? 57, 138. I want to see if... Oh, that's the pond. Okay. That's right. Okay. I was trying to figure out where that spot was. The pond, huh? That's definitely... It's nice when the pond is good because it's so easy to get there at Amber. Thankfully, at nighttime, if it's a really nice carp spot, it won't always... the carp will bite through the night at times. It'll slow down some, but usually in the evening it's really good, and then first thing in the morning it's really good. But overnight you can still get a couple bites here and there. It's not completely dead like some fish are. $59.62. I really want to try night crawlers on this. Oh yeah, I was also going to look at the map. We're not really, oh yeah, we are kind of, we could cast like in that direction, maybe a little bit longer clip and see if we can get it into that hole, see if we catch a burbot or something. We're going to take a little bit of a chance on this. I never did overload this reel, which for bear is probably a mistake. We should have probably gone with like 9 or 10 kilo line and then like, you know, maybe the 9.8. Holy 3.2 liter. We do not need that. Not even sure we need a liter at all. We could do 5.4 though. We'll try 5.4 and let's don't get too crazy. We'll do an 8 Nightcrawler and just see what we catch, if anything. We want to cast like right there. It's about to be daybreak. If any of y'all are interested, I have been having a, I have been having a great time playing Guild Wars 2. Really haven't played much ESO, even though the new expansion came out, but Guild Wars 2 has been a lot of fun going back to that one. I hadn't played it since launch. It's pretty good. Okay. We're getting a bite on Nightcrawlers, I think. It's a bream. Alright, I really don't think that the leader is necessary here. The leader just protects us, though. Yeah, I should have been more prepared. Yeah, I'll try without the leader. Just gives a little bit more power. Oh, guys. First fish on boilies. Let's see if it was worth the wait. Okay, I think it is a grass carp. There can't be too much bait. That's the cast we want. Okay. One of my buddies is just like on a total MMO kick, and we've just been trying like all the different MMOs that I've all played in the past, just kind of going back and seeing what they're like at this point. And let's change that. Only cheese, don't put ground bait. I'm wondering where they're 4351. Which direction are you casting? Because we could try that on our third rod and just live with the consequences, you know? We'll go a little smaller hook if we're going to use cheese. Be a good time to put it in if we're going to try it. We're hoping that they're not casting over there, because cheese will definitely catch grass carp over there, I feel like. But if it's more like in this spot here, then maybe we'll be okay. Hopefully we'll make a little money on this carp fishing trip and be able to overload our third rod a little bit to get a little more power. I don't think anybody's going to answer me. So let's just try it. So I'm surprised that potatoes have been this slow. We're getting another fish on boilies here, and we still haven't caught a fish on potatoes yet today. Oh, shoot. It is not worth taking those chances when carp bites are so slow. I should have totally waited till it was full on pulling. Alright. I am thinking... For now, let's just keep inline. So we're gonna not, we're gonna not use the ground bait and just try this. All right, they're doing 22 clip, kind of straight ahead here, which they're actually fishing from 44.51. Which means they're kind of going here. Weren't they saying 44.51? 43.51? I have a feeling they're actually casting towards those weeds. Okay. And it's still early enough in the morning. We could grab a tench here, hopefully. Hopefully nothing that completely wrecks our gear. But yeah, if we can get that up to the strength of like 10 kilos and then use the 9.7 fluorocarbon leader on that third rig, you know, we're taking a chance, but it's at least we're in the ball game. Alright, I gotta turn my fan off real quick. No, I don't want to launch it. So they're doing... Middle of reeds, okay. So we'll see if we catch a fish where we have it, but it looks like they are casting from 43.51, which is here. They are casting like to the middle of those reeds and going for barbel and tench. I don't know if that is a figment of my imagination, but it looks like we're getting a nibble. Yep. If we don't have a fish by 10 a.m. on our second line, we'll recast the potatoes line. Potatoes shouldn't be this slow. Carp fishing in general, bear in general, requires a lot of patience, but it shouldn't be this slow. Let me see if... Oops. I was trying to get this to at least start setting up. So that bite never materialized. I wonder with tench fishing if having that fluorocarbon leader would make a difference. I mean, I don't think it matters with carp, and it may not matter for anything at bear, to be completely honest, but I do wonder. Really makes me wonder. Alright, it's time. Just too slow. Let's see if that helps. I've got one more spot here at bear we can try if we don't have some better success here. And then eventually we have, you know, if bear just needs a little time to get a little hotter, then we can also try a couple spots at Old Berg. I mean, there's some really good carp at Old Berg as well. By the way, if we get spooled and it becomes a problem with this setup on the Sabre, one option we would have is to put braided line, same strength braided line, and we'll get a lot more line on our spool. Try to help us not get spooled as much. But I'd like to try it with monoline first. It's a good thing we recasted the potatoes. It really shouldn't have been that long for a bite. And to me, carp spots at Bear always feel a little slow, or often do. Sometimes they're really hot, but they often do. So the fact that we're only fishing with 2 setups instead of 3 is going to make it feel even more slow at times. But once you get the carp fishing bug, it's hard to resist. Always know what drag you're on. And if you're not sure, go down and drag, don't go up. I almost just locked us up there. I'm lowering my friction brake all the way there only because I'm trying to lower the temperature of the reel so that we don't start taking unnecessary damage. And we may have to start walking this one down. I think it's worth it to walk it down a little bit. If we lose it, we lose it, but I think we need to be able to see where it's going. So unlike most grass carp, I mean, I'm wondering if it's even a grass carp. Hopefully we'll find out, but unlike most grass carp, it didn't start out that strong. Initially, we were able to fight it a little bit, but it got stronger. It was like it was just playing with us. All right, we got to walk it down some again. We're running out of line, and it's doing us dirty here. Yeah. Woo! That was a good one. That was a good one. We may have to go braided. Boy, once I felt that, big grass carp or whatever it was on there, I started thinking like, we might need to go braided here. Still have plenty of line left, but all right. Hey, on good news, this carp mix is working. I don't have another feeder leader, do I? Dang it. Nor do we have another carp hook. Alright, I think we need to get braided on here. I think we do. Alright, let's just go throw our rigs in the water at this other spot just ever so briefly. I don't even know that we're going to be able to reach this other spot. It's like a 35 clip, but we'll try it. Welcome to carp fishing. I'm almost glad that happened because, like I said at the beginning, this is the minimum size gear you should consider trying to do this with. And honestly, saving up and waiting until you have the I fished this spot before. Until you have the Alpha 8000 or Gold 80 range is smart, really, to be honest with you. But okay, so probably what we'll do is go make a little bit more money and try to put braided line and see how that goes. All right, I don't remember. I just don't remember where this spot is. 35 clip is so far. Yeah, we didn't even make the clip. This is where carp rods come in handy. You can cast so much farther. Alright, that did make it. So this one might have a little bit more weight on the line, or maybe I didn't give that other one a full cast. But we know we're probably at least close on the other one too. And then I don't know where to go with this. Okay, let's just see if anything's biting here. You know, and the other thing we could do, even without, you know, besides just going braided line, is we could go back like down to the pond area of Oldberg and a little bit more safely try to fish for the big carp there. We probably don't use boilies there unless we just hear that a certain boilie's working good there, because potatoes is probably the way to go with carp fishing at Oldberg unless we find out something different boilie wise. I hate to see the big one get off like that. You know, and for all I know, that was a decent black carp or just a really big grass carp. Again, it felt a little weird at first. Like, it felt like, you know, we were in the fight. We actually pulled the fish in some, and then it took off. So... But I do think with braid, it is harder to get spooled on bear. I mean, you have more time. You've got more time. What's nice at bear, though, is when you can find those farms that really have a lot of common leather or mirror carp. Not that they wouldn't still do a lot of damage to our saber setup, but they just don't run as fast and as quick. You've got a little bit more time to think and figure out what you can do. Yeah, I wish there was some... It's one thing I don't love about one of the sites that I look at is it gives you... I guess I could try to translate some of these comments and see if any of them talk about direction. I have fished this spot before, but it has been a long time. So it looks like the cast should probably be more in that direction. So since we're running out of time here, let me recast both. I just cannot cast this full cast with the current weight. We should put maybe I don't know. I don't want to put much more than 60 gram. Maybe though. I don't know. All right, this will be interesting to see what did we catch on cheese. It feels like just like a roach or something, doesn't it? That is a barbel. Huh. If we're catching barbel here, we should put some kind of ground bait on, probably. So really we're casting just to the left edge of those weeds. I'm not going to even pick that up. There may be a fish on there already, but I'm going to give it a second. And I'm going to throw some ground bait on this. I don't know what. Maybe that fake tench ground bait we have. Just something. Fake barbel. Did that work? I can't remember if that worked or not, but let's try it. might be a fish on. Nope. We got some headbanging going on with the potatoes, though. Let's see if we can get spooled twice in one session. We've lost more silver than we've gained, is that right? 3 grass carp, 1 bream. 10, 20, 30, 2. I think we've come out even. We've pretty much paid for the hook we lost. But we've had fun. That's what carp fishing is all about. As much as I want to try out the boilies here, I think until we get get a good feel for a spot, we need to go with just potatoes time 2. I don't care about taking a chance that the carp's going to get off. We're going to be aggressive here. I'd rather it pop off the hook than get spooled. So if we're pulling line in at all, I'm going to try to fight against it. The more time we can buy us, the more chance we have. Come on. Slow down. Oh, stop doing that. We're going to have to get braided line. I cannot believe this. Wow. We're fighting for every bit of line we can get. Man, I get so spooled. I'm so spooled. I get so spoiled on my main account. Just having like appropriate carp gear, it is such a different experience. I don't even think it's gone left far enough that walking left is going to matter much, but we can try it. Come on, pull up. I also can't really tell if this fish is at all getting tired. Trying to just give us as many chances as possible as turning this towards us, but it's running. So you gotta want a carp fish really bad to come here with Saber 60s. Especially if you find out that the grass carp and the black carp are biting pretty frequently. I'm trying to wear this fish out as fast as I can. We need to like pour some tea down our gullet. As fast as we can. I don't have anything else for energy, do I? That tea is not helping fast enough. Take a break here from holding the. We use our energy when we've got the rod up that high. So just by keeping it this distance, it might give the fish more chance to fight back, but we should get our energy back, which means we should be able to pull this fish in. The fish is definitely tired at this point. Not that it doesn't have any fight at all, but it's definitely getting there. So if we can get back into green energy here, I don't think there's any doubt that we'll be able to get it in. So we can stop taking chances and really just try to get this fish in. Alright, when we stop it this time, we should be able to reel it for a while. We're back into green energy. Okay, I think we can turn it here. Yep, there we go. Would you look at that beautiful carp? And that right there is why it's worth it. That is awesome. What a beautiful fish. And imagine what that first fish that spooled us was if that's a almost 15 or 14 and a half kilo black carp. I mean, that's a 30-pound fish right there. Whew. Holy cow. All right, this is the spot. But we're going to have to go 2 potatoes. I think we go 2 potatoes in this spot. Might be worth coming back here and trying, though. I mean, honestly, we need to get that braided line. And as much as I want to try boilies here, this spot we probably should just be using potatoes. $43 silver for that one fish. So that's only 78 total, but a nice black. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, Fab. We are going to do amazing damage to these sabers. Look at the friction break. $111 silver. Okay. We got some figuring out to do. We're not quite there yet. All right. Hey, thanks for watching. Carp fishing, I tell you. I will see you next time.